for political discussions, of course, we do not forget to speak about what is important and what is in the hearts of the general public of Sri Lanka. Politics has been known to bring strife to people in general from time immemorial. But today, we will dedicate our program to discuss something that has brought happiness, unity, and peace to the minds of people here in Sri Lanka. It's none other than cricket. And the theme for today's show, no politics, only cricket. To discuss these matters surrounding the sport of cricket here in Sri Lanka, we've got Sri Lankan cricketing legend Arjuna Ranatunga with us here today. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation and gracing us on this program today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, not the best time, of course, to be speaking about cricket because people are not really happy because this sport that brought so much happiness to Sri Lankan cricketing fans is currently in a bit of a downhill state. What really went wrong here? I know that's a very broad question. So let's first start with where really does the problem lie? Is it in the lack of talent here in Sri Lanka, or is it the structure here in Sri Lanka? Which is the most pressing issue that we need to address first?
I think it's not the pleasant time to speak about cricket, but I'll tell you it's a very important time to speak how to get cricket right. Because otherwise we are heading very bad disaster very soon. We had a very bad run. If you analyze the entire picture, the entire collapse started in 2015.
Right.
When we took over the Yahapalana government, we were trying to get cricket right. And I can remember Mr. Naveen Disanayake as a Minister for Sports for a little time. He introduced the interim committee. He wanted to change the constitution and to go for election. But unfortunately, with the changes, he couldn't do that. And then it's history. I'll tell you, cricket-wise, talent-wise, we don't have a problem at all. It's all about management. And if you take from 2015, people who has run cricket has spoiled this. Unfortunately, players are getting the blame. But if I'm outsider looking at the entire picture, my first finger goes to the cricket administration. Starting from the 2015, the people who ran cricket till today. And I'm sure they are not ashamed to say, no, we had enough, we ran this for 5 years, 6 years, it's on a bad state. We wanted to take a step down. I don't think they do that because they are depending on this. They are depending, their families are depending on this. And I still say, I'm openly say that it's not only the corruption thing. There have a lot of issues happen with the administration. The administrators were called for match fixing issues. It's in black and white. The records are there.
Right.
And unfortunately, nothing has happened. None of the ministers took action against some of these administrators who were involved in fixing club matches. And they still run cricket in our country. How can you expect players to behave or perform when you have corrupt administration running cricket?
Right.
That is a start. And cricket-wise, I'll tell you, we are so lucky. We have a very good school structure. If not for that, we should have been dead and gone, buried. We are dead, but not gone and buried. And I'm sure that we produce very good cricketers. The cricket standard has gone down. That is another reason that cricket board doesn't help the cricket board, the school cricket board.
Right.
Because that you get only 2 votes for the school cricket board.
Right.
So you have about 500 schools playing cricket. So you can't look after, you have to spend a lot of money. When I took over the interim committee in 2008, the first thing I did, I looked at the infrastructure and we ordered like for 500 schools, junior cricket and a senior cricket set. There are schools, even schools, big schools like Anand and Nalanda, and they are also struggling at that time to get a cricket gear.
Right.
So this is something the cricket board never looked at. They were looking at clubs, paying their own guys, traveling. So this particular thing started in 2015, and now that it has come to a stage where your first question came, ideal time to speak and try to see whether we can correct this. Otherwise, this will be a disaster in another couple of years' time.
Well, there was an invitation that was made by the Minister of Sports for you to step in and help build cricket in Sri Lanka. Would you accept?
Once I met him at a function and he said, "Ayya, mata cricket world udav karan." He's like we have been very close families, but unfortunately, politically I'm not in the same side. But when he requested, I said, anything for cricket, but I said not with this corrupt administration. So if he is keen to get cricket right and if he is willing to take risk, and give it to a new group. Give it to a new group. This group has been running for the last 5-6 years, and they have been having enough fun and no development on cricket. And it's high time that the cricketers should get involved. I'm not saying it's only me. If I'm taking over, I want the cricketers to get involved. I want some honest administrators to get involved. And I'm sure that we can get this thing right. And it won't be very pleasant. I'll tell you, it won't be very pleasant with me. There will be very tough decisions I will take, and it won't be the most popular decisions, but I know for sure the public will trust me, and I will get this right. And if I can't do that, I'll tell the minister, very difficult to do that, I'm going off, which I will never do that because I know I'm a very tough guy. And
you don't give up easy.
I won't, because when it comes to cricket, it's bigger than my life. If I'm in a position today, whether recognized in the world, won a World Cup, captain a World Cup, and a minister, everything happened because of cricket. And I have a duty. Now that I'm the Gampa people given me a break for 5 years, and I have little time to spend on cricket. And that's the reason I said I don't mind helping. And if I was given an open hand with some good past cricketers, good past administrators, and I'm sure that we can get this thing right.
But of course, the decision to allow for an interim committee does not solely lie within the hands of the minister. Permission has to be sought from the International Cricket Council. Since we did get permission to amend the constitution and to appoint an interim committee back in 2015, we appointed an interim committee but did not amend the constitution. Do you think the ICC will trust us again?
I think that's where the minister has to come in. Now you take South Africa is with the interim committee.
Right.
And India, VODA decisions have been taken from the courts, and now that it's not a elected committee. So you have a chance. Now Sri Lanka has identified as the most corrupted cricketing nation. You will ask why. We are the only country which has a anti-corruption office in the world.
Of the ICC?
ICC anti-corruption office is based in Sri Lanka, not in Pakistan. A lot of people are pointing finger towards Pakistan or any other country, but it's based in here. So at least that we should take a step back and realize there's an issue. And if there's an issue, I'm sure that this is the time to address. I'm sure it has gone through to the grassroots level, but I'm sure that if you act properly, take some very strong decisions, I'm sure that we can get this thing right.
But are you confident that the ICC will sanction the appointment of an interim committee in Sri Lanka?
I'm sure, because ICC wants Sri Lanka cricket to go on the right track. And I'm sure that they must be having a lot of headaches. You just imagine that if you have an administration, like a top guy in the administration who has been accused and reported saying fixed games for his own club, what else you need? And there has been a lot of issues about cricketers, cricket administrators, then match like the pitch fixing, and a lot of issues have been happening. So I'm sure that ICC will like to see some good important like non-corrupt players and the non-corrupt administrators getting involved and get this thing right.
So corrupt administrator, you said that Sri Lanka cricket was managed well at a certain time. How did these corrupt administrators really make their inroads into the Sri Lanka Cricket Council?
Now, if you analyze the entire picture, now we have about 140 odd votes. I think, like you take India, it's about 30 votes.
This is for the Sri Lanka Cricket Council.
Cricket Council, like if I have to come into the cricket board, I have to at least satisfy 75 clubs, not 75 clubs, 75 people, because ultimately they are the ones who will come and give you a vote. And first thing they will ask how much I am getting. I'm openly saying that. And it has happened to me when I contested in 2001, when I contested last time.
How much is really the going price?
I'm sure a couple of millions.
Couple of millions.
And not only that, they will be very well looked after. They will be going on trips. I can remember when 2015, when the elections happened, we had a World Cup tournament. And I can remember there were about 20, 25 guys with the families went to see the World Cup.
Right.
So these are the pagawa, bribe we do. And even there are guys who has been paid now because of the elections are in March.
Right.
So you can't expect a cricketer to come and do the wrong things. Now, there are guys who has asked me, how much you can give me? I said, nothing, not from cricket, not from me. So I won't get a vote. So this is where we need to be very careful. If you are going for another vote, all these people will run for another couple of years. And if the minister wants it, good luck to him. As far as we are concerned, I'm sure that a lot of cricketers are keen on getting involved. And I'm sure that if we put the stop now, get the right team, I'm sure that we can get this thing done. Why I told you about this 140 odd votes, there are clubs who doesn't play cricket. There are clubs who doesn't have a cricket team. Forget about teams who doesn't have a ground. So they all, most of them are getting 2 votes.
Right.
And the 500 schools representing School Cricket Association has 2 votes. So these are the issues we have been addressing. From the time I went to the parliament, one reason I got into politics, I thought I can get into, because I thought I need little bit of power to get cricket right. Because I saw a lot of people, the only person I saw handling it properly was Mr. Dissanayake, because he had power. And if you don't have power, it's very difficult for a cricketer to come and do it. That's one reason I got into politics. And even with my like being in the parliament for last 17, 18 years, I couldn't change it. Because you ask Gotabaya Rajapaksa, the president, to contest in the cricket board, he will lose. Mahinda Rajapaksa, the prime minister, he will lose.
Unless they bribe.
Either they have to do the bribing part, which the corrupt guys are doing, or they have to be very strong and tell them, okay, you are not going to contest, we will contest. That's the only way they can win. I have gone through this for last so many years. It's the most corrupt institution, it's the most corrupt setup when it comes to election.
Well, we will continue this discussion after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Newsline Live.
Newsfirst, Newsline. Newsfirst, Newsline.
Welcome back. Well, you're joining our discussion with global cricketing great Arjuna Ranatunga. Sir, we were discussing about the state of cricket here in Sri Lanka, of course. And recently you had made a comment saying agents for players should not be allowed. This is part of the issue in Sri Lanka cricket. Why did you say that?
It has been there for last so many years. I think the major issue is that how they influence the media, how they influence the coaches, how they influence the selectors. Even through social media they do that. And even apparently they get hold of the umpires. So these guys, the option I gave them, why can't cricket board be the agents for the cricketers? You have a separate department, a marketing department. Like if you want to market them, do it at your own place rather than giving it to the outsiders where they will ruin the issue. Now, if I have about 10 guys in my book as I'm as an agent, what I'll do is I'll try to get them into the team where I will get 10 to 15% commission. And so it is not the best interest of the team or the country. So that is where we have been hampered. Yes, you can say that there are agents for every sportsman, that's true. But they are real professional guys. These are not the professional agents we have. They are like people who were, one guy was a media guy, the other guy was a commentator, the other guy was another person. Just when they see a agent coming in, then if I'm right, there are about 4 or 5 agents, and one guy has about 10, 15 cricketers. So this particular thing, I mentioned this in 2008 when I was at the cricket board, stop the agents. And I was just about to tell the players, if you are coming with the agents, no even the cricket board contract, they go and show it to the agent. And when they went to IPL in 2008, this particular famous agent, he's the one who wrote the letter to me and the sports minister at that time. So you are talking about, you just imagine first IPL, 2008, we had about 12 cricketers and 10% of the players' money. We're talking about $1 million for the agent, $1 million for the agent. So these are the things we were trying to stop. And what we told, I told the Indian Cricket Board, give that 10% to the Sri Lankan Cricket Board. You are talking about $1 million to the Sri Lanka Cricket Board rather than giving to an outsider, where I will put that money into the school cricket development.
But an agent's role is to secure the interests of a player, international athletes. That's how the world works. That's how it's been done everywhere. How do you plan on keeping agents out of Sri Lanka cricket?
No, that's a decision you have to take whether you like it or not. If you are allowing these people to run cricket, pressurizing the selectors, pressurizing the coaches, and I know for sure they take them out for dinner, and some of the senior players are involved. So these things should be stopped. In my days, luckily, we never had agents and we never had social media. We never had wives who were talking about cricket. So I'm very glad that I played cricket at a different era, and we all played cricket at a different era. But what I see on this particular thing, it's all about discipline and the commitment. And talent-wise, I'll come back to your first question. Talent-wise, I still see that we don't have a problem. You take someone like Mendes boy. He looks a very talented cricketer, but we have not handled him properly. And even today, I felt very sorry for him. Like, I don't know his family background. I don't know where he comes from. I have not met him. I met him maybe casually, maybe at a dinner or something. But now in my days, like there were guys who came from outstation, and we used to protect. It's not only me. Like players like Arvind De Silva, Guru Singh, Mahanam. When a young boy comes into the system, they protect them like the elder brothers, sometimes like the father, sometimes like the principal. Sometimes they shout at them, maybe give a khanepara. It has happened in my era.
Right.
But they know why we did that for their own benefit. And it doesn't happen now. And these are the things. We have a culture in this country. Remember this particular culture. We don't have to ruin this culture to play cricket in this country. And we used to be called Ayya Malli thing. And there was a time that they were trying to say we are professionals, we should call differently. But I said, no, nothing doing. I said, I call people Ayya, and they call me Ayya in my team, and I call them Malli. And that's the way we won a World Cup. And what we need to do is, talent-wise, we don't have a problem. We need to learn from outsiders good things, not the bad things. What has happened in the last 5 to 6 years? Administration, they have learned the corruption thing. Players have learned the wrong things, wrong values, wrong attitudes. And our good things have gone through the carpet. And these are the things we need to address and put a full stop, get it back, get past cricketers involved, be very strict. And there are lots of past cricketers who want to get involved, but they don't want to with this system. So you need a new system to come in. If the present government wants, present minister wants, I'm sure that it can happen.
So, as you said before, if the Minister of Sports does send, he made a request on a public request to the media. Have you received any particular request in person?
Not officially, but I'm sure that he has spoken to me on the phone a couple of times, and I have met him on official functions, and he wants my help. I said, I'll help him. As any minister I have been. Even when I was in the opposition, I used to help the sports minister on cricket. But unfortunately, it comes to a stage when I'm trying to get things right, corrupt guys get involved in the ministers. So what I told the minister, I'll sit with him, I'll have a chat with him. If you want me to take over, I'll take over on my conditions, like on a team where he will approve and I will nominate. And even the selection committee allow me to do the proper selection committee, which his blessings. And even the cricket board, the interim committee, I'll give the names. If he doesn't like it, then we can have a discussion. So there are ways we can handle this, because we are matured people, we are not kids. So we have to sit on a table. Ultimately, what is important?
The benefit of cricket.
Yeah, ultimately cricket is the most important factor. Minister Namal Rajapaksa being the sports minister, he has a massive responsibility. Even on that Sirasa program, I said, if Namal can't handle this, no one can handle it. Father, Prime Minister, uncle, the President, what else you need? And you can take decisions. I know that he is a person who can take decisions. If he takes the right decision, he will be very welcome by the public. If he doesn't, he will be yet another sports minister like the past ministers.
So, do you believe that, judging by the current atmosphere in Sri Lanka, an interim committee for the management of sports is somewhere in the pipelines?
I think so. If he wants to get this thing right, I openly say that it is up to the minister. I can't pressurize the minister saying put an interim committee, but I think if he asks me what is the best solution for cricket in general, I will say put an interim committee, give us 2 years, maybe 3 years, change the constitution. For God's sake, change the constitution. I think we have to appoint some lawyers, some past cricketers to do that, and then get a good cricket committee to put cricket back into the system. I'll be part of that for sure. And get some good administration guys, like good financial guys. And that is where, like, there were times that our money went into accounts overseas and still nothing has happened. So how can you
when it comes to the issues of broadcasting rights?
Absolutely. And we have, I think you all have been talking about this, but ultimately it's in the CID, and I don't know whether it's happening or not. And so the money which supposed to be used by our cricketers in someone else's pockets. So these are the things will not happen if I come.
So we're in the final minute of our show. What really is the message that you have? Is there hope for Sri Lanka cricket to the fans who are, well, suffering these days without a win for Sri Lanka?
I think we need to take a step.
Is it going to get worse before it gets better?
If we take the right decision, if we speak now, I'm sure that we can get this thing right. And this is not the best subject we can talk, but it will be the most important subject. I think you give another year, it will be a disaster.
If we continue like this?
Yes, because the administration is running the way they want, and corruption thing, I have been talking about it. But cricket-wise, I can't see a plan they have. There are 14 guys who are traveling without the cricketers. In my days, it's only 3 guys or 4 guys.
These are the coaches.
Coaches. There's a head coach, batting coach, fielding coach, like doctors, and I don't know. I'm glad that I'm not the captain. Just imagine you have 30 guys in a room when you have to concentrate on a very important game. I always say that I think you need the right people. And there's another issue. A lot of people are talking about why only foreign coaches. And I don't know where this, apparently I heard there are more than 5, 6, 7 foreign coaches. We have our own coaches servicing in the other countries and maybe not doing anything now. Our good ones are isolated because that they can't control them. So these are the things we need to sit with the minister concerned and get it right. And I'm sure that it's not a difficult part. It won't be an easy path, but if you take right decisions, I'll be the most unpopular guy if I take over cricket tomorrow. I'll be the most unpopular guy with the administration and sometimes maybe with the cricketers. But maybe in 2 years' time, they will say, thank you.
Definitely. And, well, the general public of Sri Lanka is, of course, waiting to see a glimmer of hope in the sport of cricket that we all know and love. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on our show today and shedding light on this very pertinent topic at this very important time. And, of course, thank you to all our viewers out there for tuning in. Of course, we will see you again, same time, same place, tomorrow. Until then, take care and God bless.